So we're doing Guinness pie today. We're going to use oxtail, onion, garlic, thyme, rosemary. Nice big old cast iron skillet here. We're going to get this bad boy smoking hot, put a little bit of oil in the bottom of it, and char up some of these oxtails. Get a nice crispy crust on them, and then pop them in the oven and let them finish all the way. Oxtail takes a really long time, which is great for drunk cooking, because then the rest of the time, you're just hanging out cooking.
And your
I'm going to put in a bottle of Guinness. We're going to do potatoes, onions, celery, carrot. Put all that stuff in there with some of good old P. Hizzle's homemade stock. Not sure if we're going to use venison stock or duck stock. Duck stock would be awesome. We might do that.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, duck stock Guinness pie with oxtail.
Oh, yeah, buddy. You might have another recipe. You're taking it back to Virginia with you.
Yes. So this is a great drunk cooking recipe because it takes so much time to do, but you don't have to focus on anything. You're not constantly stirring. You're not constantly, messing around with your ingredients. It's almost set it and forget it. There's a little bit of prep that goes into it. There's a few things that you have to pay attention to, but it's super simple, easy stuff to do. So we're going to let this cast iron get nice and hot. So basically what we want to do with these little oxtails is kind of wash them off a little bit, get some of that gunk. Good Lord, look at the size of that bastard. Good oxtail.
It's going to be good right there.
Going to wash off some of this packaging gunk and blood and all that shit.
You can't brown meat unless it's dry.
Yeah.
Just like beef,
Yeah.
if you don't pat your beef dry, you will not get that good brown on it.
Yeah, you want a good crust.
A lot of people don't know you have to dry your meat.
Right.
Anything besides salt you're going to want on this?
No, just salt. You put anything else on it when you go into the skillet, when it gets real hot like that, black pepper, garlic, things like that will burn and give you a really bitter, funky flavor.
Okay.
But salt will just liquefy. It'll help crust up a little bit, and you need some oil in there because the oil can actually get hotter than the meat can.
Okay.
So that oil
now,
will help it crust as well.
when you're browning your meat, when it gets close to done, do you ever add a little bit of flour on top?
Sometimes.
Depending on what you're doing?
Depending on what I'm doing.
I've got peanut oil.
Peanut oil?
You can't fry without peanut oil.
No, you can't.
There's just no substitute at all.
A little bit of that in the bottom. Nice and hot peanut oil. We got our oxtail. It's all nice and dried off. Got a little bit of salt on there. Let's hope that this doesn't fucking... Woo! Watch out now. Lay them bad boys in there. Once you set it in there, don't fucking move it. Where it lands is where it lands. You start moving things around and you're gonna fuck it up.
Now, I see you're kind of crowding the pan. Typically when I'm browning meat, I don't like to crowd the pan.
Yeah.
But explain to me. I guess it still works, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We're gonna set those on there. We'll come back and flip them in 5 minutes or so. Once we got a nice burny, charred deliciousness on the bottom.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll flip everything over, let them char a little bit more. Keep turning them, get all those edges, top, bottom, four sides.
Yep.
Get them all charred up and good, and then we'll pop it in the oven and let them finish them there.
What do you want to preheat the oven to?
Let's preheat the oven to 375. Just having a good time. That's what it's all about, man.
I mean, right here. This area we're in. This is the heart of a home, right here.
Yep. People gather around food.
Coming up in Illinois, a lot of farmers, right? And the typical tradition was you take supper, and then you'd sit around the kitchen table and talking and visiting until it was time to leave.
Yeah. A little look-see. Brown it up. Spin in the oven. Give it a little peek. Safety first, kids. Remove that lid so that the smoke doesn't get you. Or the steam or whatever. Ooh, them's looking pretty.
That's looking good, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot more oil in there than I thought. It's all that fat reduced out of there. Okay, but those are fully cooked. So let's get these out of the
Right here. See, this is canned. This is sealed. Now, once this is open, just like any canned good you get from the store, it has to be refrigerated.
Okay.
This is a pint.
Okay.
I don't know how much you want. I've got quarts downstairs, but I think a pint would probably be about right.
And there's so much good flavor in this oil. It would be a real shame to dump it.
What do you think about straining it and keeping the goodness?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we'll eat that one.
That wouldn't be too good.
We get. I tell you what I do is I would get that hot going again,
Oh, it's still plenty hot.
and I would go ahead and add probably your wine and your stock.
Okay.
Now, the way to open these jars will take you your opener. You gotta pop the lids on these.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I get there. It goes. And I've already shaken this. You're just ready to dump in what you need.
Duck stock. Yum, yum.
Now that duck stock, you were probably surprised to see duck stock because that's one of the rarer ingredients, isn't it?
It is.
But what we're doing is we straight put up that goodness right now.
Yeah. All them little chunky bits.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really
Get the sides too. That's just some good. Yeah.
not really much to reduce because all the oil was in there. Nothing really stuck to the pan, so we don't have any like burnt ends or anything.
We don't have any crust right now.
Yeah, but that's okay.
That's life. That's
Yeah, it is what it is. And hell, there's some good sticky bits on the side of this pan. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, so that red wine is nice and reduced down. Very pretty.
I noticed you just put just a slight bit in there.
You don't want too much.
I typically use a little bit more. Ooh, that's good.
Juggo wine. Okay, and duck.
Well, we already knew each other from the past, but I'm saying if you'd brought your friends out, you know.
Okay. Now we're looking good.
We're cooking with, as those Louisianans would say, with peanut oil.
With peanut oil. Peanut oil. Okay, so we've got a quart, almost 2 quarts of...
Here's your towel, too.
2 quarts of duck stock, a Guinness, red wine reduction, and these oxtails. So we're going to let these simmer for hours until they just kind of fall apart. We're also going to put in...
Are we going to simmer this in the oven or stovetop?
Oh, just put it on the stovetop.
Okay.
That way we can kind of keep an eye on it.
Oh.
Just a little bit of garlic. We don't need to mince it or anything like that. We're just getting some flavors in there.
What you looking for, Chris?
So we don't want to put it now because they'll get all soggy and just all fall apart and all that stuff. But we're just going to let this roll for a bit. Get it all nice and pretty. Some of this stock will reduce down and condense some of that flavor. It's good stuff. When we get to about here for liquid, when we lose about 1 inch of this liquid, then we'll add the vegetables and let those go for a minute. And we'll make a few dumplings, put those on top, put it back into the oven for 15-20 minutes, and then we'll be ready to
Just
go.
to finish the dumplings?
This will be ready to eat. So what time is it now?
I've got 121.
Okay, 120. We'll let this simmer for an hour, maybe 2, while we drink more beer. We might take a nap. And then hit the vegetables and the dumplings, and we'll be ready to
Yeah.
eat at 5, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.